So welcome to Boxing Media Hub, and yes, you are with us once again. We're looking forward to this one. Before we go any further, we are sponsored by Falcon Contracting and Price Global Solutions. So big shout out to them. I've got my boy Ender and the new boy. The new boy that's kind of joined the group now. We've got Ash Lane with us, pro boxer, the man. Yeah.
Nice to be here, Jerry.
We talk the talk. He walks the walk.
Exactly. And he can keep doing it. Michael Conlan versus Jordan Gill. And this is one we've been looking forward to for a while. When me and Ender first saw this one come up, we were like, that's a fight. Michael Conlan, 20 fights, 18 wins, 9 knockouts. Jordan Gill, 30 fights, 27 wins, 1 draw, 8 knockouts at the SSE Arena in Belfast on the 2nd of December, live on DAZN. Michael Conlan last out in May against Luis Alberto Lopez, which he lost in TKO round 5. Jordan Gill was last out in, I can't believe it, October last year against Kiko Martinez, which was a loss TKO round 4, which has been an absolute resurgence of Kiko Martinez. He's an absolute solid guy, to be fair. 2 really difficult fights these guys have come off the back of, but this is a major fight to propel both of them back into a good, sort of space of contention for those belts again. So yeah, who wants to take this one first? They've both.
I think we should let the expert go first.
Yeah, by the way, that's you, Ash.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Well, by the way, just before he starts, Kiko Martinez has now retired. In case Joel wasn't clear on that, he was a great player.
I just thought the guy was. Every time you wrote the guy off, he just seemed to keep coming back.
Well, officially he's retired, and I believe it more than a Fury retirement, I would say. But he's a good servant to boxing, so
yeah, 100% quality.
Great fight.
Sorry,
great fight.
Go on, mate.
Sorry.
I'll tell you what, that's a cracking fight, that is. Conlan and Gill, I don't want to be harsh, but I'm not going to be harsh, anyway, I'm just going to be truthful. I don't really see Gill as being a world level fighter. This is just my opinion. I don't think he struggled really bad against Gurphy, who's a European level fighter. It was one shot that completely turned that around and saved him in that fight. I think he will struggle against Conlan as it goes on. I just think Conlan, from his amateur background, his pedigree, get over to America. He's boxed at a higher level against Lee Wood and Lopez, and I think that will make a big difference. And I think Conlan will win that fight. I'm not going to say it'll be a knockout or anything, but I think he'll win unanimous quite comfortably.
Okay.
Over to you.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, Ash. Ender, do you want to go?
I agree with everything Ash said. We talk about levels a lot in boxing, and I do think there's 2 levels at play here. There's the level that Michael Conlan's at, which is, European level, on the cusp of world class, but he hasn't burst through that glass ceiling just yet. His amateur pedigree is world class, however, but professional boxing is a slightly different game, and he's found that out to his cost in his 2 losses. And again, Gill, I would, say he's a British level fighter, and he has, tried it with European opposition, and he's come a cropper. And but there's no doubting that he loves a good scrap, and he's not afraid to get off the canvas. Neither, of course, Michael Conlan can get off the canvas as well as he did against Sorry, I was going to say he did against Lee Wood. Was he knocked down before he was knocked through the ropes? It was just through the ropes.
It was a slip, wasn't it? It was kind of it was caught as
Oh,
he
sorry,
slipped.
yeah, it was ruled as a slip, but I genuinely thought that was a knockdown from Wood. But yeah, you're right.
It wasn't knocked down, but
It wasn't counted.
It was a tricky one. It was a count, but I think he slipped as it was caught.
Yeah.
It's enough.
Yeah, and so, and he got back from that. Of course, then he ended up through the ropes. Now, and that's the one thing I just want to say, Lee Wood. People weren't giving Lee Wood credit for that knockdown, and then they were saying it was a one-punch wonder against Warrington. I'm like, do you even watch this fight? Like those punches that he threw before for both of them. The first one knocked Conlan unconscious, and the second one put him through the ropes. So there was 2 punches involved in that, and the Warrington one was a succession of wonderful hooks. So all the Warrington fans that said it was a one-punch wonder, go to Specsavers, please.
Yeah.
So back anyway to Conlan, and that was a point I was making about Conlan, is sometimes Conlan gets involved in wars he shouldn't be getting involved in.
Yeah.
Conlan is superior boxer to most boxers. I would say he's a superior boxer to both Lee Wood and Josh Warrington, except he's not as strong a fighter as either of those. And he gets drawn into fights he should not be, because they're doing that because they know they can clock him. So he'd be better off getting back, sticking to his high level boxing, which is, he's got freaking Olympic medals for, and do that, and don't be getting dragged into wars that his ego and machism is forcing him into. If Mick Conlan stood off and picked him off, he'd win a wide points decision easy. But if Mick Conlan gets hit at all, he suddenly decides, this is a war, and he goes rushing in, and that's how he gets caught, because he rushes in and gets caught, and that's how he's losing. So,
but does Gill have the power to?
This was the point I was just going to make. The only difference is this time Gill definitely doesn't have the power of Wood or Lopez. However, does he have the power to knock Conlan down? I don't know, but he could. Like I actually said I could see both guys hit the canvas in this fight. And I'm not saying that Conlan is, weak-chinned. I'm just saying he rushes in. And that's how he gets caught. If he was clever, if he was just clever and know that he's the superior boxer, stick to boxing, he'd be fine. But sometimes his bravado and his machism gets the better of him, and he wants a war, and he rushes in chin first, bang, he's gone. It's an easy out for the opposition. So if Mick could, and I know he's a new trainer now, so maybe he learned those lessons. I don't know, because I think it's an inbuilt thing inside of him. Inside of most men, I won't be beaten in a fight, rather than do like great boxers like Sonny Edwards. That guy doesn't get involved because he can outbox anyone. You know what I mean? He's got a box. That screwball kind of uppercut. Oh, they're so beautiful to watch. And people go, oh, he's running. He's not. He's boxing. He's showing off wonderful skills. He's showing off wonderful skills. Like like we see from Floyd Mayweather, like we see from anyway, that's the point. Be more like Sonny Edwards and Floyd Mayweather. Don't get involved in wars. You're the better boxer. Stick to boxing. You'll win a wide points decision. But he doesn't do that. And so my prediction is he will win on points, but I still think both men could hit the canvas. So I'm going for a points win for Conlan, but I'm making the thing that both of them will hit the canvas, unless Conlan has learned his lessons with his new trainer, which hopefully he has.
Yeah, see, I just think Conlan does get sucked in.
Absolutely.
He hasn't learned. And I think you can change your trainers. Like we've seen it, haven't we, guys? We've seen it over the years where people change the trainer, but they don't change a habit. And this is what we see with boxers, that that instinct kicks in where they just think, well, I ain't going to take it. and it just overawes any plan that they had prior to having a dust up with someone. So for me, I think Conlan has to be careful, because I think Gill could take him out, and it might not be necessarily a knockout, but it could be a referee stopping it, because when Gill does get it in his bonnet, he will throw shots, and if he catches Conlan, he will go for it, because he'll think, this is my opportunity. Can I outbox Conlan? He probably thinks, no, I can't. So I've got to take those counter shots and make sure that I make them count. And when the time is there, bang, he'll find it. I can see Jordan Gill taking this. Yeah, and that's Sam, by the way. I can honestly see Jordan Gill taking it. He's coming on Gill, and he's saying, Jordan Gill, round 9 TKO. Do you know what? I can see it. Ash, you can shake red, mate. I'm sorry, I'm agreeing with Sam rather than you on this one. But I can see Jordan Gill getting it, in the sense of getting that flash moment. I'm not saying that Conlan couldn't get it on points, because like Ender's saying, I think if he does stick to his game plan, it's all day long. It's all day long, Michael Conlan, if he sticks to his boxing game. But I just don't think he will. I don't think you can break a habit that easy by changing a trainer. How many times, Ender, have we seen it when boxers have changed trainers and they can't change the habit? There's loads of them. Let's be honest.
Do you think Michael Conlan's got enough power to hurt Gill and take him out himself?
No.
You don't?
No, that's why
he hurt Lee Wood consistently in that fight. You know, like.
But I don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of Lee Wood, and Ender will tell you, and the way he fights, I love it. He's a fight with fire guy, isn't he? And he will. But that is also Lee Wood's weakness in some respects, that when he comes forward, you put yourself on the line. That's where, like Ender's saying, Conlan doesn't need to do it, and he hasn't got it. He hasn't got that. Where for me, Gill's had the rough and ready fights, and look at when he got sparked big time for about 2 or 3 rounds. That guy shouldn't have even been in there. He was like a crash dummy all over the place, and yet he still fought his way through it. And like you say, I know you said that shot, Ash, but he landed it, and it literally, that was the turn. And for me, I think he can do it against Michael Conlan. I can't put a round on it. I genuinely can't. But I think if he gets the opportunity, I think he can do it.
I actually think, Joel, you made a very good point there about, well, you know, the trainer's game plan seems to go out the window. And it's true. I don't think Adam Booth had that plan, what Conlan did with Lopez, suddenly get involved in a war. I don't think that was Adam Booth's plan at all. So changing trainer, if he suddenly, you know, red rag and goes in full Monty, or goes in full bull, like red rag to a bull, there's no, he could have bloody, you know, he could have Bert Sugar as his trainer, and he still would just get her, would just do that. So that is, unless of course the trainer can get inside his head and keep him mellow, you know, and not let those punches kind of send him into a kind of a fight mode, rather than say, right, step off and move, you know. But we'll see. And the proof of the pudding is in the eating on the 2nd of December in the SSE Arena in Belfast.
I want to say quickly, Ash, you're a pro boxer, right? We're going to chuck it at you, right? Yes. If you've got a guy, because Ash, you're a great boxer.
Thank
right?
you.
Your boxing ability is quality, right? But if someone stands there toe to toe with you and they start trading with you, there's something that triggers in a man's head that goes, I ain't having it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. You stand there and you trade and you show them you can't be bullied. 100%.
So
your game plan, Ash, your game plan could be going there. I'm going to box this guy. I'm going to move around. I'm going to take the shots. If it presents itself, I'll take him out. If it doesn't, I just stick to my game plan. But when their game plan goes up 4 gears and he goes, I'm going to take you out, you've got the same mindset, haven't you?
Yeah. Me personally, I mean, I love some boxers have been more disciplined, but me personally, I'm there, and if I'm boxing and they step it up and they're gonna give it to me 100% toe to toe, I got balls of steel. I'll stand there toe to toe, and
1-3-2.
if they take me out, at least they've taken out a fighting man. You know, I'd rather go out my shield. I'd rather go out my shield fighting and lose a fight from trying to box and move. So yeah, I agree with that.
I'm going to ask you, Ash. You said lose a fight by box and move, but what if by boxing and moving you can win the fight?
Well, I get dragged into fights. Is how I am.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking
about. Though.
No, but it's human nature. It's human nature, and it's especially natural in men. You know, it's the fight or flight, and fight is what men want to do. But obviously, boxing is a discipline, and if you're disciplined enough not to get dragged into a war, and you're disciplined like Floyd Mayweather Jr. or Sonny Edwards, and just step back and pick them off, and not get dragged into a war, then that's huge too, because you're overcoming that natural instinct to fight.
Wow.
Can Michael Conlan overcome that natural instinct?
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think so, but I don't think Jordan Gill is the level that will stop Michael Conlan. You know what I mean? That's why I think Conlan could be floored, but he won't be stopped. Like he might.
I think the same. I just think that Conlan's level of ability is just on another level, and I think that's what will take him through. Yeah, it might get hurt. It might get have some scary moments. Yeah, and Gill will come out and Gill will give it everything he's got. And Gill's not a bad fighter. I think Gill's a European level fighter, you know, and he can push these lads hard. But has Gill got enough to be able to really rip it from Conlan? I just don't think so. I just can't see it. You know,
Do you know what, lad?
Do
you know what the funny thing is? We've been talking about this for about 17 and a half minutes, right? And I'll tell you the funniest thing is we could be chatting about this, about all the strategic and technical ability of these guys, and someone might go out and absolutely floor the other one in the first round. That'll be the hilarious thing about the whole thing. And we've seen it before. We've seen it before, haven't we, Ender? Me and Ender have talked up a fight. We've talked up a fight big time before, me and Ender, saying, this I can't see a knockout. This is a 12-rounder slugfest. These two guys are going to go at it. Bang, first round, gone. That's me and Ender. Bookies, we're like the bookies' favourites because our money just goes straight in their pocket. And, I just look forward to it. This is a great fight, great card. And, let us know in the comments, people, how you're seeing this one. Michael Conlan versus Jordan Gill. Let us know. Hit the subscribe button as well. What are you going to say, Ash?
So let's put this out there. If it's an early stoppage, say first 2 to 4 rounds, someone gets caught cold, who's going to do it? If someone's going to win early, who would win early?
Gill.
Well, is Conlan that stupid to go and get dragged into a fight that early?
No, but you're saying if there's a stoppage. If there's
an early stoppage, I would predict it would be for Gill. Yeah, no, I think I'd go with Joel on this.
Okay.
But I don't think that will happen.
Do you know what? I love how Ash went,
qualify this.
Who's going to get it in the 4? And then just went really quiet.
Be an early stoppage. There, I've said it. Now, of course, there'll be an early stoppage because I said there won't be. But if there is one, I would favour Gill to do it. However, a late stoppage could easily, Michael Conlan could get it because he could just box the head off Gill and the referee could come in. But points for Conlan is me and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah. And as I say, Ash is going for Conlan on points. I'm going for
wide points.
Wide points.
Gill will push it. He'll try. But I think Conlan will have a few scary moments, but he'll walk Gill on to too many shots. And I don't know if Conlan's got enough firepower to stop him, but I think he'll win comfortably on points.
Well, do you know what, lads? I have enjoyed this one. Let us know in the comments, people.
Because you've listened to two people talk sense.
Conlan versus Gill. I'm going to ignore that. And yeah, lads, thank you very much for coming on. Great as always. Looking forward to this one. And yeah.
Oh yeah, and I did know Sam has disagreed with Ash yet again.
Well, there we go. Hit the subscribe button.
We remember what happened last time I bet against me, don't we?
Hey! On that note,
Shots fired.
Have some of this.